Let me share this out and you guys do the same. Let's see here. All right, you guys. So, waiting for you guys to come in and then we'll get started. I'm trying to get in some lighting or whatever. Destiny's playing her thing. So. I'll wait a little bit and let people come in. And of course, Destiny's playing something. So I do not own any rights to anything that she's playing. Sorry. Sweating here. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Isaiah, Aya. Show them grandma. Show them grandma. Let me step outside. I see y'all already. I'm gonna have to step outside with Destiny, honey. I just hope y'all can see me. So. Hey, T. Thomas. Hey, Samaya. All right. We got a topic going on tonight. Isaiah is in the bed. All right. All right, y'all see this prince? All right, we're waiting on Miss Tiffany here. There she go. How's everybody doing tonight? But I think I'm gonna get with Miss Tiffany and see like if on the weekends or something we can do the live, because I know a lot of people have to work and all of that, but we just be up. So actually today was like a last minute thing. So let's go, Miss Tiffany. Let's go. Let's go. But we are trying to get our grind on our platform so we can do what we got to do to make our channels grow. So if you could like share us out. I tell people you don't have to watch my videos, but just subscribe. I'm ready to go live on YouTube or whatever. So. But tonight's topic is having a hysterectomy or basically not having a hysterectomy. So I'm just waiting for Miss Tiffany to come up. So let's go, girl. I'm trying not to keep y'all on here long. Okay. All right. I think I did it right. I know. I need like I've got 929, so I'm almost there.
Let
Yeah.
me get my filter, honey, because you know I look horrible.
Nigeria, come on here, put that light on.
Make sure my wig is straight.
You see, I got.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. I don't
Okay.
know how to pronounce her name.
Hello, everybody. Jessica, my cousin's
Mm,
in
Hi,
here.
Jessica.
That's my cousin,
You
JJ.
fast.
That's my blood cousin.
I don't know if
And
I'm
we
saying
got
her name right.
consortiums.
Some minus. Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
Oh, Tamina's reborn. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for coming. Baby girl, hello.
That's Charlie.
Charlie, oh, that's Charlie. Hello, Charlie. How you doing, my love? Hey, sugar.
And T Thomas.
Um, T. Thomas is in here. Hello, T. Thomas. How you doing, my love?
Thank you, Jessica. Y'all know I had to put the earrings on and stuff, but
Yeah, she looking all cute, and I'm looking like a,
whatever. Okay,
I'm looking like I can't even. Wait a minute. Can you see me up here? I don't even see myself
I
on.
can see you. Yep, I can see
Okay, let me go back. Okay, I can
you.
see me. Ooh,
Stop that.
hi.
Girl. Okay,
Hey.
so I was saying that tonight is going to be basically about having a hysterectomy or not having one. So,
Mhm.
um, so I want to get started so I don't have everybody on here late or whatever. So, anyway, for me, I was supposed to get a hysterectomy years ago, but I didn't, just because of circumstances with Destiny or whatever. So I never got it. And then, so as time went on, I was told that I had endometriosis in 2003, which is very painful. I was told then I needed a hysterectomy, but I never got it. And now that I don't have insurance, I really, really need one. It was last year or the year before I started like I always had heavy periods, but I started like bleeding really bad, like for 6 months, just pouring out blood. And I actually was really scared when this was going on. So um, I ended up getting a biopsy done. And before the doctor even started, she told me I was bleeding like a gunshot victim. So that really scared me. I had to then begin to take like iron pills and stuff like that. So, needless to say, I do need one, and not having insurance is the hardest thing because um, you never know when you're going to hurt, you never know when you're going to bleed. So, to explain a little bit about the adenomyosis, it's where the tissue is growing inside of my uterus and the endometriosis is growing on the outside of my uterus. So therefore it's causing double bleeding. So that's where I'm at today, still needing one. So ladies, if you have insurance, whether you want a hysterectomy or not, just keep, getting yourself checked. The sad part about this is it can cause cancer, being untreated. So, um, honestly, I'm very scared of that, because mine has been left untreated since 2003. So, I mean, like going back and forth to the doctors, I've had like the laparoscopy thing, I've had all that done. And, just to kind of burn some of the endometrius off and stuff like that. But then when I was told I had the adenomyosis, it was kind of scary for me because I had never heard of that. I just know that the blood was just pouring and pouring and pouring, and it scared me really bad. So like I said again, ladies, if you can, hey Frank, hey Aunt Maddie, um so if, like I said, just continue to go to the doctors, um get yourself checked. And from what I'm learning too, um endometriosis was only detected during surgery. So I don't know if they can do blood work to detect it. I don't think so, but I don't want to give wrong information that I don't know. But from my understanding, um, with the endometriosis, no, I had to have the laparoscopic surgery. And then with the adenomyosis, I ended up having a biopsy done. And when she did the biopsy, she was checking to make sure that I didn't have cancer because kind of that's what we thought it was. So by me, like I said, by me not being treated, God forbid, it can turn into that. So get checked, get checked, get checked.
Yep,
After
I was.
to your doctors, you know, if you're cramping, having heavy periods, excuse me, gentlemen and ladies, but like blood clots and things like that.
Hopefully, we're all adults in here anyway, so they should understand. This is And it's for I also said it for
Hey,
men too because
Montana.
that's Destiny. Hello,
Good
baby.
morning. This is me.
That's Destiny. That's Destiny. Hello, my love.
Me, how
How
you
you
doing?
doing?
Good, white guy.
What's up, Wata? But this can also, I think not only the men, but the women need to be educated as well because, people have wives, girlfriends, sisters, daughters, cousins, and it's good to have that education, I believe, for men and for women.
Yeah, because
So,
I mean, now that you say that, you're absolutely correct because it can cause a lot of problems in relationships, sex wise, and not wanting sex or having sex or
oh, yes,
so
definitely.
I mean, I get all that. So yeah, you do have to include the men when it comes to things like that. Um, but it's also good for your partner to know that too, because sometimes you have men that are understanding and sometimes they're not, you know.
You do. Yeah.
But, when it comes down to this, to me, it's a dangerous situation. It's a dangerous game. So,
Hmm.
and if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If we don't know, then we'll try to write it down and get back to it. But I also wanted Miss Tiffany to tell some of hers. So what we're doing is kind of trying to build our channels, get our channels where they need to be. We've worked hard for a long time, but kind of got off, but we're back. And so she's helping me. I want to help her. And this is where we are. So,
Yep. Also, I know, also check out Aunt Maddie TV too. She's so inspiring as well. She's also trying to, and we just motivate each other to keep pushing, staying positive, to spread some positivity out here. So, let's keep encouraging each other and spread some love in this world. We need more of it. So, a little bit of my testimony. So I'm a lot like ATL. I at a young age, actually, I've never really had a light period. Never. It's always been heavy, always a cramping, but it got worse as I got older. The heavy blood clots,
yeah.
I have had miscarriages before, but a lot of times too, like when you're bleeding heavily, it's hard for them to tell if you're having a miscarriage and you know, and then as I got older, it just like they never really solved the problem or the issues that I was having. So as I got older, it just got worse. Like I would literally go through, and I know this is TMI, but we're all adults and this is for educational purposes. Um, I would use like literally packs of pads a day. Like there was no such thing as me using a tampon. I wouldn't even, put myself in that situation because it'd be gone as soon as I stuck it up there. So
I don't mean to laugh,
I'm just keeping
man.
it real. But I'm being serious. Like I would have literally had to change it right away because it just wasn't gonna happen for me. So it was just a hot mess. Like I was going through packs and packs and packs. The doctors would tell me, oh, it was always excuses. They check me for miscarriages. Oh, you're having a miscarriage. Well, we can't tell if you're having a miscarriage. They did actually try to do some tests for I did have a biopsy down there. They did try to do a test for cancer and we just never got an answer for it. And then as I got older, it got worse and worse. And then, of course, when I went through my cancer history, when I was doing the full PET scan, after, and I do know too, if you're not treated for that, it can turn into cancer. So it is very important that you take care of yourself, you learn and know your body because a lot of women have the heavy bleeding
Yep.
and they think that's the norm. I had got so used to it all those years. Heck, to me it was the norm.
Yep.
And so after I went through when I had that full PET scan, after I went through my last surgery on my back, I went in there for, routine checkup, and the doctor told me that unfortunately, he said, your back is looking good, but unfortunately, you're gonna have to go to another surgery. And I was like, what? And they told me when they did the PET scan, and they knew about the heavy bleeding. I was always on iron pills. My iron was really low. I was always cold. I was always tired. I mean, it was just, and when I was on, only thing we want to do is curl up and stay in bed. Like it was literally that bad because I would have blood clots sometimes as big as my fist. One time I bled for like 2 months straight and back and forth to the ER. The doctors, I mean, I just had to run around. So anyways, when I went in for, the doctor was like, yeah, we found some, fibroids, and that they wanted to make sure, they didn't want to tell me because I had just had surgery for cancer, but they thought that that's probably, maybe it's something they missed and maybe that's where the cancer came from. So of course I had to go and I was like, okay, well, that's fine. He didn't tell me that. They did tell my parents that because they didn't want to scare me, whatever. So I was like, okay, I got some time, I said, how much time do I got? Do I got another 2 months because my back was hurting? He said, no, unfortunately, we need to do this like that. So I was like, oh Lord Jesus. I said, you mean to tell me y'all gonna be having me hurting from both ends? So I was like, I know it's not funny, but I'm telling y'all, I'm crazy. So that's the way I felt. I was walking like the hunchback. I said, I'm be hurting from both ends. So anyways, I went in for the surgery. They told me, asked me, did I want to have any more kids? And I was like, I had 3 kids. I had some miscarriages. And he said, we suggest that you just go ahead, and just have a hysterectomy. So I went in, had my hysterectomy, and I tell you, that was like one of the best decisions that I've made. Like honestly, like I had to get used to. I had like still had pads stacked up because I was so used to, the heaviness. And I was like, it was such a big change. But I know it might be a little weird, but I felt kind of robbed because I said, you mean to tell me all these years I went through that and I thought that was the norm. I never, not once, experienced a regular menstrual cycle. I just say period, honey. Not one time, honey. Love country.
So you do
But not
have a
one time.
hysterectomy? So you
Yeah,
have
I did have a hysterectomy. Yes,
so
I
you
did have
have
a
your heavy
hysterectomy.
bleeding and all of that.
None, not none, honey. I had no more, no nothing, honey. I felt like I was reborn again.
And see, I was going into
Yeah.
the third grade, I mean, sorry, fourth grade when I first started. And the thing is they
Hmm.
say that endometriosis and all of that is hereditary. And right now,
Hmm.
I can't figure out who in my family has it. And what scares me the most is Destiny getting it because, she does have periods and stuff. And she has them very heavy like me now. So I've taken her to the doctor and stuff, and just kind of keeping an eye out on her or whatever. But her medication just makes her either stop for a couple of months or sometimes she might have it a little while, but it is heavy. So, I just watch her. It kind of scares me because I deal with that. And I don't
Hmm.
want her to have to deal with endometriosis or anything like that. But see, one of the things was back then they asked when they kept asking me did I want a hysterectomy. I wanted it, but I knew Destiny was special needs. But I know that special needs people are, they have relationships. I've seen them have children. I've seen all of that. And so for me, I said if Destiny ever wanted a child and she couldn't carry it, I would carry it for her. That was the reason I
Hmm.
never got the hysterectomy. But if I would have known that she was going to grow up in the, space that she's in, then I would have gotten it. But I just wanted her to feel some kind of normal. And, I was just trying to think of like a loving, caring mom that, what if she ever wanted a child? I wanted her to be as normal as possible. But
Hmm.
as time went on, I mean, it's not possible. I mean, her boyfriend is Justin Bieber. So, you know, but I felt like as a mom, I did what I had to do and I suffered behind it and I would still do it again because you never know which way God is going to have that situation turn out to be. She could have been a normal with special needs 23-year-old, but things happen. So, but now I'm suffering the
Yeah.
consequences because I do need a hysterectomy and I do not have insurance. And even just to
See,
get
and
the
that's
biopsy was
sad.
$200. So get yourself checked,
Mhm.
get insurance.
Yes.
That's
And
one
it's
thing I'm going to work
important to
on.
teach. to know the signs and to because they also have on the pads or the packages like what's considered normal. I say for one, when your kids are old enough, go and get them checked out, get their physicals, and educate them. Education is the key. Teach your kids what to look out for. Um, Make it a habit to encourage them to go for their checkups. It starts like I believe at home with the parents educating our
Yeah.
kids and teaching them, hey, to take care of yourself. You're at the age now where you should be going in, getting checked out, and teach our girls and our men how to take care of their bodies and what to look out for because
Right.
it all starts with us. Because a lot of people they unfortunately they miss signs and sometimes it's too late.
Mhm.
It turned out to be cancer or something that can take their lives. So we have to know our body and what's considered normal. Like to me, I grew up thinking that was normal, you
Mhm.
know, and it was the most embarrassing thing. Like I ain't gonna tell y'all some of that stuff. I told ATL some of the stuff that I used to do.
Mhm. Yep.
But looking back at it, it's sad. It's sad, and a lot of people just don't know because to them that's normal.
Yep.
But it's very important to get your checkups, to get checked out, get them pap smears, honey, and take care of your body.
And now that I
And
sit here,
also,
I'm
insurance is important. Unfortunately, not everybody can afford to get insurance, and it's sad. And I hate that you have to go through that.
Yep, it's really sad. And now that we're sitting here on the line, I'm just really thinking about like I said, I was going to the fourth grade when I started. My periods have always been heavy, always, always. Like the schools used to would call my mom. I would be laying like by the toilet at school, throwing up, just blood, and the cramps would be so bad. So I just wonder how long did I really have the endometriosis? And then what
Yeah.
made me have the adenomyosis now? Like what in my body made that happen, you know? And I should have
hmm
really asked that question because, it'll cost to go back and talk, but
hmm
you don't think about those things until you really just sit down and like, wait a minute, I should have asked this question, this question. So like, I know now, like write this stuff down, ask your doctor what you need to ask them. Um,
hmm
and I just would continue to do that. Even if you go every 3 months, 6 months, go while you can. Because
Yep.
I wish I
And
did.
a lot of people are so afraid. Let me tell you this. Y'all know I get emotional about everything because I really mean this from the bottom of my heart. It is scary. Life can be scary sometimes. I'm not going to get on here preaching. I am one that believes in God. I believe you got to put God first, honey. But do not be afraid, okay? Because the one thing we always say is it's better the sooner the better. Take care of your body, take care of yourself. The quicker you get in, if you're feeling some kind of way, the quicker you get it squared away, the better your chances are of fixing whatever it is or getting yourself on track. So we only have one life and one body. So you have to take care of yourself. I don't care what's going on. Get in there and like our friend said that passed away, Sally, of breast cancer, stage 4 breast cancer, not too long ago. H.L. Nelson, I'm talking about, God rest her soul. Um, she was always saying how, and that's one thing we want to get on here, we want to, push towards more too is advocate for yourself.
Mhm.
Sometimes, and I'm not saying, not going to bash doctors or whatever. We got some more stuff coming, so we got different topics we're going to talk about. But you have to push and advocate for yourself. Fight if you know something's not right, push for it.
Right.
Push, 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 push. So.
And
Does anybody have any questions in the audience or I mean in the chat in the audience? In the chat?
yeah, Aries, which is T. Thomas, she asked, so the endometriosis can't be found through regular pap smears? Honestly, I don't know, but I don't believe so because um I did have pap smears back then, and the only thing they used to tell me was that they would see blood, but they never told me nothing else. So mine was found having a liposcopic surgery. And then that's when I was told I had it. And then after that, like mine would spread. So I would have to have the liposcopic surgery again. And I had that several times, like just for them to burn some of it off. Because what I do know is it's not curable. Neither one of these are not curable, but they're maintainable. But when they spread on different things, because my endometriosis spread it on my kidneys and somewhere else.
Mhm.
I think my gallbladder back then, but I don't have my gallbladder anymore. So I don't know, but I can try to find out. But for me, I didn't find out that way. And I was going and getting tested and stuff like that. So if it showed up, they never told me that until I had surgery.
Yeah. And JJ had made a comment too. JJ, you are still young, honey, but sometimes age has nothing to do with it. Life happens when it happens, honey.
Yeah.
But I would say talk to your doctor, pray and follow your heart. I know you have two babies, and because some people would like to have more kids. I know she was talking about she was undecided if she wanted to have a hysterectomy or not. I would say, I'm sorry, I'm sliding out. I would say talk to your primary and weigh your options and follow your heart, honey. And always know, if there's anything going on, like what I had or ATL had or what a lot of other women are having, sometimes people might not want it, but sometimes the hysterectomy, well, for me too, because of my cancer history, I really, I didn't want to take that chance, and my doctors didn't want me to take that chance. But like ATL situation said too, um, when you go untreated or anything like that, there's a fear of it can spread into cancer, and a lot of people don't know, but if we live long enough, every one of us will get cancer.
Yeah.
Every one of us can get cancer. So it's just, sometimes it's just time, it's just my time. And God forbid, I hope I never get it again, but, or it never comes back. But if you go untreated, like ATL said, it could turn into cancer. So you have to take care of yourself. Don't wait till it's too late, Like our friend said, advocate, 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 advocate,
Mm-hmm.
and fight for yourself. Yeah, we're all scared, but it's better to get it done now because you increase your chances of fighting whatever it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
is there any more? Auntie says, I found out through excruciating pain. Oh, wow. You found out what, Auntie, that you had a hysterectomy as well? Or you had the fibroids or?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to ask too. Um did she have the endometriosis or just the periods? And as far as T. Thomas, so she had left another comment. So you can't get it if you don't have a period, right? So what I did was I screenshotted those two questions, and that is something good to know because what
I
if
wish my sister was here.
one day if I
Hmm.
finally got a hysterectomy, is it a chance that it's gonna stay on the organs that it's already on, or or will it go away? So
No,
those
I
are
don't
the
think it'll
questions.
go away. I'm not a doctor, but I'm assuming that it's not gonna. I mean, because if they take out your uterus and stuff, like you say, what's there is there.
Right.
Um, it'll just stop it from spreading. I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but we will come back with the answer to that. We'll talk to the doctor and we'll ask her and come
Right.
back with those questions. And if anybody else have any more questions, please feel free to also inbox ATL or I and anything. And we will try to find the answers and ask a professional for that because I don't want to lie. I'm not going to even make like I'm a doctor, honey, because I'll be lying
So Auntie,
like
you
no other,
have
honey.
endometriosis and fibroids.
Oh, really?
That stuff is so painful. The
So
endometriosis is painful in itself. So I can't
yeah,
imagine having the
I
fibroids
bet.
too.
My whole life, and I look back and I was like, now who would get upset because they wish they had a regular. But I was like, I was right. I'll
No.
never, ever, ever know what a normal period was. To me, that was normal. Filling up. One time I bled so heavily. No lie, you guys. I was in the ER. I was filling up trash bags full Like, and I was going through stuff like that. My iron was low. I was sick. They had to rush me to the hospital because they kept sending me home. I almost passed out. But to me, that was the norm. Like, if I breathe too hard, like a blood clot, like the size of my fist, and then they was trying to say, oh, well, you might be having a miscarriage. Or, no, I said, I've been bleeding like this off and on throughout, like my whole life. I've never
Mhm.
had a light period. But the hysterectomy, I will say, was freaking amazing. Someone else said something too. Aries said, I'm glad I don't have periods anymore. The menopause sucks, but I'm glad I don't have them. Yes, that is so, so true. So what age do you start going through menopause? I think it's my age, honey.
I don't know,
I
'cause
think it's my age.
it's crazy. Because I wish, I hear a lot of people say
Okay.
that they don't like menopause and you sweat and you do all this and that. But honestly, by me not being able to get a hysterectomy, I'd rather be sweating and stuff.
Oh,
You know,
oh, on her ovaries.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
they do. Like, it used to scare me because mine used to be like really big. Like, I'd be like, wow. But for me, when I would cramp really, really bad, I knew a bunch of big blood clots were gonna come out. I didn't know that, and I
Hmm.
learned that because every
Yeah.
time it happened, I would be hurting really bad, and it seemed like when they passed, it kind of
Hmm.
eased down just a little bit. The pain did, but oh, I when I hurt, I
See,
knew.
and that's the thing that people need to watch out for, like the signs that we're giving them, like watch out for that. Auntie Maddie, I'm curious to know, did you have a hysterectomy? She said on her ovaries, and yeah, the clots were big and huge, like
Mhm.
ATL's describing too. Um, uh,
We are some strong ladies. That's T. Thomas.
oh, T. Thomas says mine. Wow, she about to make me cry. Mine came on due to kidney failure, but I have a transplant. I had a transplant in 2019. Praise God. Oh,
Hmm.
you gave me chills. God is so good. Man, see, that'd be something too to come up here and talk about too.
Yeah.
If she would like to share her testimony. Wow.
And that
Thank God.
came.
So how are you feeling now? Like T. Thomas, how are you? I mean, how did that, are you feeling better now? That wasn't too long ago, sugar. 2019 wasn't too long ago. So look, we both had our same, because my last surgery was in 2019 too, but a transplant is a big thing. So I'm not gonna even make like I had, that was something big. And I thank God that you're okay. Hopefully you're feeling better now. Do you have to, I think she has to take medication for forever, right? For the rest of
Um,
her life?
because like some of the questions that I have about my mom, like that, I
Mhm.
go to her if she can help me. So that can be another topic too. Because you never think that it can happen to you or a loved one or something like that. So I mean, I'm learning all about the kidney failure the best I can, and what
Mhm.
do you call dialysis and all of that. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's another topic. We are going to have to come on here and talk about that. That will be a great topic, and a lot of that. Well, we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
Huh? You got me all excited on here.
But we are some strong women. Everybody in this chat, we are
Yes.
some strong women, and we done been through it and unthrough it. But at the same time, we strong.
Yeah. T. Thomas says I just have to keep my weight under control, and yes, I take anti-rejection meds for the rest of my life. Yeah, I thought so. Well, you know what, honey? Okay, you're not going to get me up here crying, sugar.
Uh-uh.
Um.
Mm-mm. Cause honey, you
Okay, I'm
cry, I
sorry,
definitely
but
cry. We all gonna be crying.
I do want to say thank you so much for sharing your testimony. And I thank God that you're doing okay. You're doing better. We love you and we thank God. I just thank God for healing you. I truly do. I truly do. Because that's something serious, honey. It really is. But I'm so happy you're doing better, though. And she put the praying hands.
So like we said,
Yeah.
we're gonna get with somebody and we're gonna have these answers for you guys. So what we'll do is it won't be a long live, but we will make it like a small part two to have the answers for you guys. Because like I said, you would think that I would know these answers and questions, but I guess maybe for me I was too scared to ask.
Hmm.
I ain't want to know.
Yeah. And let me ask you just a random question. This is another topic. How many women on here do, now be honest, y'all. Don't get on here because y'all know God looking now. Don't tell no stories. How many of us really do our breast exams like we should? If you can put a one in the chat that you do, how many of us really do our breast exams as we should? Even at home, how they teach us, who really does it?
Okay, so I done tried to do that and I don't know what I'm feeling, but by the time I'm done, I'll be like, I done found 7 lumps, and that ain't that.
Right?
Mm-mm. So no.
Yeah, I think that's another thing because a lot of women say, but most of us don't, and then we get a lot of times, yeah, you're right, honey. I can't tell what's the matter, what is or what ain't, honey. But I was just curious to know how many women really do their self exams, as far as that. It is really important though. It's a really important thing that we should really make sure we're doing.
I don't know how. I mean, I've been taught and showed how to do it, but I know years ago they did find a small one in my left one, but it wasn't nothing or whatever. So I just,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I'm just gonna be so honest and so like real. For me, I don't want to know if I have cancer or anything else. I don't.
You see, you about to make me get my belt out. Why?
Um,
Do you know you have a beautiful daughter and beautiful family to live for? Do you not want to live a longer life, healthy life?
I think for me, because I have watched people do dialysis, I've watched people do chemo, and I see the sickness that it causes, and I don't want to live my life to be sick.
But have you seen all the people that are cancer survivors? Have you seen the healers that have survived from it? There's
Mhm.
so many cancer survivors. Yes, unfortunately, we lose a lot of people. But you mean to tell me you don't want to know? And see that a lot of people think like that. No, you
No.
need to know. See, don't make me jump through this camera.
I don't.
Because the thing is though, you need to know because if you find out earlier, the better you increase your chances with all the medication and the technology they have now, that your chances of beating it is better if you go in, they catch it quicker. So running away from a situation is not going to make it any better. It's going to make it worse. And yes, you're going to decrease your chances by not the unknown. And that's another reason why education is very important. Yes, it's a scary thing, but it's even scarier when they tell, hey, you got 2 days to live, sugar.
That's
And
what
it's sad. That's a scary feeling. And like our friend just went through, I know that had to be a hard thing. She left, unfortunately, some beautiful kids behind. And what did she preach on there? Advocate for yourself. Because had she pushed harder, made me want to cry. See, she would have still been here. But because she didn't, she's no longer here. And she admitted that.
Mhm.
So that type of thinking you got to get rid of. Yes, life is scary, honey, but the running away from it and hiding like it's gonna disappear. No, you got a whole life to live, and God gonna keep you here regardless, honey. I'm not gonna get into another subject because some people be thinking crazy, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, but no, you can't be thinking like that, sugar.
And I think that's why I don't push like to, I mean, my next step is really to get insurance. Um, but I think that's why, I mean, I don't know, like I'm sitting here preaching about going to the doctor, find out, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I've seen too much. And I think maybe for me, if I wouldn't have seen all the stuff that I have seen, maybe I would feel different. But I don't.
And I would say, I'm jumping on you. I know everybody's different, and I've seen a lot too. I've tagged bodies. I've did vitals on someone that I knew that wasn't even alive. I've had to clean up someone after they passed away. Um, but and I will say the hardest part was the unknown. When they told me that I had cancer And, sitting there waiting, the waiting part was like, oh my gosh. And I believe in God. I'm human though. I am so human. I know they say, oh, you shouldn't stress, but we are human.
Yeah.
It's scary. It freaking is because you don't know what to think. Honey, I couldn't sleep. I was shaking, taking vitals, like, going to take the patient's vitals, like people saw it in me. It was eating me up. And if I could go back, that's one thing I would change. Have, I wouldn't be as scared as I was. But it's scary, the unknown. Um,
Every last person
but,
that I have known and loved that did chemo have passed.
but it was their time to go.
So
It
that
was their time to go. You can't just give up. But see, you still can't just. So you think, okay, just not knowing. If you know that you was on stage 1, okay, your chances was better at fighting cancer. When it's people that beat it on stage 4, you still need to know a stage 3. I've seen some people come back, honey. But running away from it, and then just think if you're one of your kids did the same thing, or one of your loved ones, or somebody, how would you feel? You would act a donkey, honey, wouldn't you?
I would have to respect that decision.
And I'd be right in that room with my belt. Now look here, child. Now you about to get this test done, okay?
I'm
Okay.
not gonna be able to
I mean,
hear
like,
now because somebody was calling my phone.
oh, that's what it was. Oh no. But
Well, we're gonna wrap it up.
that's one. Wait a minute now.
Miss Auntie Maddie said she about to go to bed.
Ladies, I'm gonna go. Yeah, well, okay, yes, me too. Okay, well, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming in, but we're gonna talk about this more offline, honey, because
Mhm.
God is powerful, honey. You gotta
Hey,
give your
just the Wayne.
baton
Well,
at
we getting
that
ready to get
point.
off
Give your
the
baton to
Michael
God,
Carter
honey.
show. Hey, you guys.
Hello, thank you guys so much for coming in. We are getting ready to end it. If you guys have any suggestions or any topics you guys would like us to talk about, please inbox ATL or I, and we would love to sit up here and talk about it with you guys.
I
We're
know
also
they
going to
coming.
rotate platforms um, between my platform and hers. So just if you
I'm.
can, just
My goal is to try to go live on YouTube because Miss Tiffany can go live on YouTube. So my goal is to go. I want to go live over there or TikTok. So, but like on
wait. Can I
YouTube,
read
I
this
only
question?
need
Can
like
I
70
interrupt you
more.
real quick, my love? I'm gonna interrupt you. I want to read this comment out loud, honey.
But
It says, I thought having kidney failure was an end for me, but it wasn't. And I thank God for saving and keeping me.
I don't know.
You have to put God first. You have to know that God's got you. And
I
listen to
I
what you
think for
said, honey.
me,
She made it.
I mean it's been different cancers, you know. So I think for me,
Mhm.
my father passing in my arms,
Oh,
and he had chemo. I've never been the same. So, but we're not gonna do that. But I think that's where
mhm.
it stemmed from. I'm like, he
So
took
it's
the
the fear,
chemo
right? The
or
hurt.
try. Well, his excuse me, his body couldn't handle it. He was going to, but he couldn't handle it. But he was kind of
Mhm.
bigger, but ended up like smaller. So he didn't even look the same. So just the fact, like I said, and seeing him and other people that were my step family, um, they didn't beat their cancers, you know, and they went through the chemo, sick and all, went through it. And I think that's when I began to close down and saying, hey, if something ever happens to me, I don't want it, you know. And from my understanding with my mother, she will be on um, dialysis for the rest of her life because she doesn't qualify for a kidney right now.
Mhm.
So seeing all of that type of stuff, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't give me hope to even want to know. I want to live my life and just live it, you know, happy and all that the best way that I can. I don't know. All I do is just pray that I never get cancer and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And I think for me, had I not been doing all the heavy bleeding, I don't think I would have went to no doctor. I don't. But yeah, we not gonna do it. Not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight, because you
Not
already know what
tonight.
I'm thinking. Me and T. Thomas just missing that, honey. You got to give your that's when I dropped to my knees because I helped so many. I worked renal dialysis, med surg, ER for years. I've been in the medical field since I graduated high school, and it was different though when I mean out helping people, everything, seeing people take their last breath, but it made me drop to my knees because I thought too. I've seen so many people dying, and when you hear a diagnosis like T. Thomas or I or anybody else get, first thing that comes to our mind is it's the end. Like we're doomed. Like we're being told, hey, it's your end, honey. But you have to pray, and I mean, if you ain't been close to God, honey, you need to really drop to your knees. And I did. I dropped to the ground. I never forget. And I dropped to the ground and I started crying. I was like, you have to give everything to God. We can't fight it. We can't, but He can. And I truly believe if it's your time, it's your time. But you have to at least fight. Let God handle it. Give your baton to God. But the unknown or running away from something, that truly decreases your chances of beating anything. And just because someone else is in doesn't mean it has to be your end. And our friend told you the same thing. Had she not fought for herself or went in earlier because the same thing happened to her, it was her end.
Right.
And that's why she preached to the end, to her very last breath, posting